So in last week's video about racing for the first time with my Tamiya TT-02, which just so happened to be on Friday the 13th, I said that I was going to be making some changes to the car, and this week's video is going to be talking about that, showing what I'm going to be doing, actually racing as well, because by the time I'm filming this, I actually have to leave the house in about an hour and a half's time, so this is going to be an interesting one. Anyway, so I said that in the last week's video that the main issue I was experiencing with the TT-02 was the steering system, because I'll go over that before I actually do the upgrades. So the plan for this video is get the new drive system in place, see if that servo horn is the right size, and also get the new transponder fitted in. And that's pretty much it. So I'll just go over the problems I was facing, just in case you didn't see last week's video, and pick things up from there. Okay, so before I do this, I just take a quick look at the car itself. Just pop the body off so you can see what's going on. So I've already got a battery plugged in to show you. Now, if I steer in one direction, you may notice that the steering gets stuck in whatever direction it is steering in and won't lock in straight forward. And that seems to be an issue with the servo horn as well. If I zoom in just that little bit, you might be able to make something out, but you can see that the system itself is not steering as well. So that's all going to come out. Well, these bits here are going to come out in favour of this all-metal system here, which has got ball bearings and some joints which should help it a lot out. And I've also got a new servo horn, which I'm hoping will be the right size. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to turn the car off. I'm going to find out where the hell my screwdrivers have gone, and let's do this. Okay, so after that, voila, we have an upgraded steering system. So far it feels a lot better. It does centralise a lot better than before, and I've got the MRT transponder fitted in place, and I've also curled up the wiring so it doesn't get tangled up, and so it looks a lot neater inside. And we have just under 20 minutes to spare, so timing wise feels top banana. Don't know why I use that analogy. Anyway, so powering the car on, and then turn the transmitter on to give a little demonstration of... I'll tell you what, that is a lot better. And also I noticed that the transponder light is blue, which helps because, as you can probably tell, I'm colour biased. To see how it looks with the body on. Okay, it's not as good as it probably should be, but it is way better than this old gubbins that was on it previously. Anyway, also, I thought there was going to be a lot of straining, because the servo horn isn't quite correct, and I had to use some bolts lying around for this, but I thought there was going to be a lot of straining, but not as much as I thought there would be. Also, the bolts used to hold the wheels in place, they might be a tad too long. I'll have to trim those off a little bit, but this will do for now. But overall, I'm happy with what I've got so far. So with just over 15 minutes to spare, time to get packing and head over to Frome, which is thankfully only a bit of a 20-minute drive. Now, I've decided not to bring this camera with me for 3 reasons. The third reason was because I feel like the photos I take there are going to get a little bit repetitive, so I might do it just like a once-a-month thing. The other reason being is because I do need to get this camera ready for the weekend because of a TT-02 build diary that I'll be doing, which is actually here, and you can see there's some brushless stuff. So it's actually a Tamiya Plasma Edge, and I'll be putting some brushless stuff in it. The second reason why was, well, third actually, was because of the fact that, because of how hectic my first time racing there in so long was, I decided not to have the camera be much more of a worry, because I didn't really use it a lot while I was racing, so I decided to give the camera a break for now. I will still be taking the GoPro and will be having it on my head and have that filming while I'm racing and marshalling. But in the end, let's take this over to Frome. We'll get the battery charged up first, and I'll see you at Frome Radio Control Car Club. Alright, so here we are at Frome Radio Control Car Club. It's working well, all good to go. There you can see it's just my dad's TC3, but he's not racing with it. I suggested he brought it along just to show. He's over there chatting away somewhere. You can just see him in the baseball cap chatting away. So they're doing some practice runs out there at the moment, so I'm going to take this out there and just see how it runs. Alright, so here we are, practice run at the moment, so not going to get too frisky with this, so just going to test it out and see. But oops, we're off to a good start, but steering wise, it is so much better than the standard TT-02 stuff was, riding over the edge there. But actually, yeah, I'm actually really happy with this. It's not doing the thing it was doing previously. Yeah, this is brilliant. I'm kind of sliding about a little bit, but one more lap.
Do a couple more laps, and the tyres will get a bit more heated.
Yeah. Oops.
Marking the lap.
Also, just a little bit. Oops. Barrel roll. Kind of cocked up a bit there, but yeah, I'm really happy with this. So I'm going to do a couple more laps or until the driver's briefing, and I just want to see how well the nickel metal hydride pack lasts. But yeah, that will do for now. Alright, so we've encountered our first problem. As you can see, the the left side of the column has come undone. I didn't think the bolts were going to be long enough. I should have used some longer ones, but oh well. I might see if somebody's got some Loctite or something similar. But I'm glad that happened while I was testing it and not actually out there on the races. But anyway, let's try and get that fixed back in and see where things go from there. So I might have made a bad decision. So I've taken out the bolt that was in that part of the system and just replaced it with this I had kicking about in my toolbox. Yeah, hang on. It might not be the wisest decision I've ever made, but it's in there quite tightly. It's going to take a job to come out, but yeah, we'll have to see how that does on the track. So sliding about just a little bit, but right, well, I'm not holding my finger off the throttle at all in that, so that's actually performed reasonably well. This is a problem now. Okay, so it seems to work all fine after the race, but just one little adjustment. Yeah, that's better. But yeah, no damage that seems obvious. So plan is get this battery out, put that on the charger and place this one in and go and check out some of the other races. Okay, so it was a little bit worse than I thought. Some of the bolts have come undone. There I don't think it has, but that one is still in place and there's a bit of a job to... So I might have to put some kind of adhesive in there, definitely not super glue because that'll be a job to get out. But at least I didn't lose anything out there, I guess. So there are quite a... Well, that's come loose, definitely. That one definitely needs a bit of tightening up. So I'm probably going to have to keep doing this after each race. But also the other problem is, you just about make out that the motor is slightly loose. I might have to take this off and see if there is a way I can tighten that up. But I've got the other battery charging. This one took half an hour to charge, so good thing I took that out immediately. But get that tightened up, see if I can get this, but once it's cooled down. Yep. Okay, so you can just, if I take the post off, it has actually come loose off of the plate. I didn't have to take that much out, luckily, but probably should have used hex bolts for something like this, but ah well. So next plan is just basically get that thing on the plate and put the whole thing back together, and I should have plenty of time before my next race, so I should be able to get it done in then. Well, so motor's on nice and tight, steering system's been tweaked once again, still got plenty of time before my next race. Let's go and check out and see how the others are doing. Okay, so with that all done, time for my third race of the day coming up.
Two, 4, 5, 3, 1, 6.
What's happened? It's like... It's like, well... Less... No. Yeah, just... Yeah, okay, I'll leave it then. Yeah, Dad's going to take it out and see. Okay, so what happened was, because before that race even started, I had one of the mini drivers crash into the side of me, which, body-wise, it actually took quite a hit. But what happened was, one of the bolts popped out along with one of the bearings, which was that? Oh, there it is. So that popped out as well. Yeah, so these bolts aren't really long enough for this kind of job. That one, bizarrely, the one that's too long, is in there quite fine and hasn't even budged. Shame I don't have two of those, but oh well. So I'm going to see what I can do before the next race. Okay, so we should be in good hands. Big thanks to Kevin, somewhere over there, for having some... What was that?
Max.
Well, Kevin had the bolts.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, regardless, Kevin and Max, let's put it at that, for having some longer N3 bolts. I won't replace that one for now, because I have got some long ones. I've literally just ordered some, so this should be fine for the next race. Oops. Trying to slide about a little. So that bolt that Kevin had on hand has held up really well. The bearing popped out on the left side, but can't really say much with that bolt that I've got. But at least it stayed in. But so gonna get that one out, and I should have some appropriate bolts back at home. I have ordered some more after my last race just in case, but yeah, I'm gonna go check out some of the races with the remaining GoPro battery. So after that race day, I ended up coming second in the novice class finals, which I'm actually pretty proud of, considering the fact that I haven't raced in a very long time, and considering that this is only the second outing with the TT-02, but first with the new and improved driving system. I am very happy with how this performed out on the track. Much better than its first attempt the week before, and definitely a lot better than this old gubbins. You just hear that. I've left this pretty much unmantled. Now, next up, I do actually plan on building, I might as well bring it in while it's here. I am building a TT-02B, which is a Tamiya Plasma Edge 2. However, with this one, instead of putting brush stuff on, I am putting in... You'd think that having featured in 2 videos, he wouldn't do that. But anyway, so this is what I'm going to be putting inside of it. This looks like packaging for a motor, I know, but it's actually a Surpass Hobby 60 amp ESC. Which Surpass Hobby I decided to give a try because I've heard good things about them. And I've also got a brushless motor for that as well. So this is what's going in the Plasma Edge 2 instead of the brushed stuff it came with. Now, with the brush stuff that came out, I wanted to save this for another video, but before I bring it up while I've mentioned it, I'm debating on putting the brush stuff in a Traxxas Rushler, which is up there, or I'm thinking about putting it in a Tamiya MO3, which is somewhere in my shed. I don't know where it is though, however. But other than that, where the bolts are coming undone in this new steering upgrade, I might put a little tiny bit of Loctite in the threaded areas, or some kind of adhesive so it stops coming undone, but one that can actually be done with an external tool, so it doesn't keep coming undone. But and also, despite the servo horn not really being the correct one, it still works, but I'm still overall happy with the steering I've got out of it. All I need to do is just there is some additive for radio control tyres that I do need to look into, but I'm gonna save all that malarkey for the next video I make when it comes to racing. In fact, I might not be racing for this for maybe a couple of weeks, because next Friday I've got a lot of other stuff popping up that means I won't be able to do it. But that's it for this video. I think next up, coming up, will actually be the uncut footage from Radio Control Car Club yesterday. I'll probably save that for tomorrow and make it rather next week, because next week I do hope to make it the TT-02 build diary, the TT-02B in that case. I haven't really eaten much today, so I'm going to go get some food and see you in the next video.